President Muhammadu Buhari is back in Abuja after his engagement in Japan at the 7th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 7. It was an opportunity for Nigeria to showcase her resources for exploitation to improve on her quest for social and economic development. That's our main focus on Panorama today, and our guest is on hand to analyze the impact on TICAD 7. Welcome to Panorama. I am Norlin Ebel Ame. We begin with security. The federal government is set to improve the welfare and logistics of officers and soldiers in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, announced this in Maiduguri, Borno State, while addressing officers and members of the Borno Elders Forum at a dinner organized in his honor by the Nigerian Army. Bashir Magashi, a retired Major General, stressed that President Muhammadu Buhari has issued him a marching order to quickly end terrorism in the region and stem criminality in other parts of the country. The Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, has charged troops of Sector 3 in Gubio, Borno State to be focused and ensure rapid clearance of the remnant of Boko Haram. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the minister gave the charge while on operational visit to Borno State.
Of Defense Bashir Magashi is in the command and control base Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri. His mission is to appraise the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. After a closed-door interaction with the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai, principal officers and commanders, the minister proceeded to Magumeri and Gubio, General Area of Responsibility in northern Borno, where he urged troops of Sector 3 not to be deterred.
Whatever you need and carry you this job, I assure you the Nigerian government will be prepared ever before to do the kind of thing that will make you more motivated to do this job. Am I understood?
Yes, socio-economic activities has resumed in Gubio town after recent repel attack. More residents appealed for deployment of more troops to further secure the agrarian community. The minister later inspected ongoing rehabilitation of structures at the super camp in Chabang and visited recuperating troops at the medical center in Malari Cantonment. The visit of the minister to the theater command, Magumeri and Gubio General Area of Responsibility, is his first major military engagement as the new Minister of Defense. From the headquarters of Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri, Borno State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force says its Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has neutralized scores of Boko Haram terrorists in airstrikes conducted on the 31st of August 2019 at USC in Borno State. In a statement by NAF Director, Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ibikule Daramola, the air raid was executed in continuation of Operation Green Sweep 3 after credible human intelligence reports confirmed by series of intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions established that the settlement was being used as a hideout for the terrorists. The Air Task Force therefore detailed 2 Alpha jets and an L-39ZA aircraft to attack the target area where several Boko Haram terrorists were seen attempting to flee, while many others concealed themselves in various locations within the area. The jets took turns attacking the target, scoring crucial hits on the hideout, leading to the neutralization of several Boko Haram fighters. Still on security, the Police Service Commission says it will meet this week to take a decision on the recruitment of 10,000 Nigerians into the constable cadre of the Nigerian Police Force, a process which is currently at its final stage. In a statement by the head press and public relations, Ike Chukwani, the Commission assured applicants that the exercise will be concluded soon and the names of successful candidates released. The commission, he says, will continue to carry the Nigerian police force and other stakeholders in the police sector along in this very important presidential assignment and will ensure that the exercise remains merit-driven, transparent and according to the laws guiding the public service. The statement also advised applicants not to be agitated as the exercise is under control and is in progress. The coalition of civil society organizations in Nigeria is protesting the $9.6 billion UK judgment against Nigeria. The coalition sees the judgment as a fraud against the Nigerian state carried out by enemies of the country. They are asking the government of the United Kingdom and the international community to intervene as partners in progress against the judgment. We will bring you full details in our subsequent bulletin. We are taking a break now. Panorama continues shortly.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Together, no matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. Let's stop fighting each other. Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together. How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Thank you for rejoining us on Panorama. Efforts by Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari to drive investors to the country, harness various resources, came up at the recent Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 7. During the week-long engagement, many investment deals have been negotiated, including that of high-level interest by the Japanese automobile company Toyota to set up an assembly plant in Nigeria under the theme Advancing Africa's Development Through People, Technology and Innovation. TICAD 7 offer Nigeria a significant opportunity to realize her development agenda. Now, joining me in the studio to analyze issues associated with TICAD 7 is Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu. He's a researcher and public affairs analyst. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much.
Now, how fruitful was TICAD 7 for Nigeria?
Well, the conference has to do with the interest of the Japanese government and what they intend to do for Africa. in view of the free trade agreement and other benefits that's supposed to come to Japan. So it's a mutual thing. So speaking from that perspective, it has to do with what the Japanese government really wanted in Nigeria. But from our own end here, we could point to specific things that we're able to achieve. Basically, the most important for me is the cooperation that the Chinese government were going to support Nigeria's aspiration to lead United Nations, and that they want Nigeria to support them in their own quest to achieve one or two things within the global framework and organizations. So if that is key to our own development by using spaces and opportunities to really sell Nigerian challenges, I think for me that is one good thing or one key thing that is coming out of that very particular engagement. You know, the challenges in Nigeria are many and they are teething challenges. So any opportunity within the global framework of engagement that will offer Nigeria a platform to really advertise our challenges, our potentials, and what we can really offer the world is a welcome development as far as I'm concerned, because that is going to give us long-term sustainable platforms that we can advertise who we are. Then coming to the specifics, like the issue of the Toyota, the bank, and all of those, issues around insecurity is a threat to Nigeria. So, for instance, the government is doing a lot in terms of getting to tackle insecurity in order to boost investors' confidence, because no investor will bring their money or plant to any area that is not safe. So the support to the National Defense College, up to the tune of $300,000 is a significant contribution to boost our research institution in terms of tackling our internal challenges and threat to foreign investment. Another area that is worthy of mention again is the support of 12 million yuan to the federal government of the federal government of Nigeria, specifically health-related areas. So. Then before we come to the issue of Toyota, you know, because that was going to generate jobs and it was going to add value to the economy. Now, all of this tied together has a significant impact on the well-being of Nigerians as well as the economy.
Okay, now, you mentioned the area of security. I want you to throw more light on the benefits Nigeria stands to achieve in terms of international relations, diplomacy. Other investments, apart from the aspect of the security you just mentioned.
Yeah, you see, the defense college is a strategic institution that is not only training elite crop of Nigerian security agencies, but other sister African countries. And now the importance of that very particular support to that institution is that it's going to enhance research as to the threats that we're grappling with. And don't forget the fact that Mr. President equally solicited the support of the Japanese government to end piracy on the Gulf of Guinea. And you know how strategic the Gulf of Guinea is to commerce in Africa. So if that fund is coming in to really support research in terms of how to tackle some of these crises, what are the causes, how can we ameliorate them or eliminate them, it's something that is going to benefit not only Nigeria, but other sister African countries, because it's a strategic institution that is providing the quality of research and institution for building capacity for elite crop of security experts in Africa, especially the military and other armed forces, really.
Okay, TCAT is every 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay, before the next one, what do we expect?
You know, what I expect is before the next decade, we should be able to say, okay, this is where we're coming from. In this 7th decade, this is where we are today, and these are the milestones that we're able to achieve. Okay, how can we key into the global vision of Japan? Because it will keep on evolving, depending on where they want to place their money. So how can we render account as to what has been given to us? What are the significant impact we've made? What are the challenges that are left unsolved? So that by the time we are going back, we're not just going back as if we are new to TICAD, but we're merely key into the trend to say, okay, you give us support in terms of defense, we're able to defeat piracy in the Gulf of Guinea. These are the results. The one you give us for health, these are the results. The one you give us in terms of the support to fight piracy on the Gulf of Guinea, apart from the funds that is supporting National Defense College, we're able to achieve A, B, C, D. So we know that, okay, from this point of view, this is where we are, this is what we are able to achieve, these are the lessons learned, these are the challenges that we feel collectively we can tackle in order to enhance security in Nigeria and Africa as it were, because Gulf of Guinea is highly strategic to commerce.
All right. Now, let's look at the conference itself.
Yeah.
You know, it is an important conference, and a conference of such nature ends up without follow-up most of the time.
Yeah.
So what do we do to sustain the gains of this TCAT 7?
Yeah, you see, once the president of a country has gone to another country to discuss bilateral relations and they're able to put agreement to paper and is signed, it is now the job of the foreign ministry to collaborate with those focal MDAs that's supposed to be the implementers of those very particular agreement, and initially they're supposed to be part of it, and to make sure that all the loose ends are tidying up, and then there is a time frame. Because oftentimes what has been happening is by the time we go sign those agreements, we return back home and we celebrate, and just the way you pointed out, nothing really happened. But I know that previously, even the cooperation with UAE and other countries, especially the support to Nigeria to fight insurgency in the northeast, the commitment from UAE and other countries like Jordan, those have arrived the country. Like the date that was donated by Saudi Arabia, those have arrived the country. So these are the kind of things we want to see. Fast track the process, set up the machinery, make plans, do your M&E framework, that is monitor and evaluation framework, and you get your result plugged in. And by the time you do that, you are able to talk to what the challenges are, what the impacts are by the time those funding and support came in, and then what the next phase of challenges will be. So that you already have a template, you already have a report that anybody, whether you are in office or not, I can simply be appointed to your office and I will continue because there is something to work with. Everything is done on paper. So what I would love to see in the nearest few months is to really, with that ease of doing business that we're talking about, like business people, before we know it, within a month or two, we're able to finish all of this and our people will benefit the way they're supposed to benefit. Not that we will drag like for 2 years before it comes in and then the government is already going.
All right, what would you say is the interest of Japanese investors in this regard?
The interest of Japanese investors, whether we like it or not, is to stabilize Nigeria, to stabilize Africa, so that they can be able to do their business. It is not era of colonialism that you can come with your gun and you start conquering people and you take their resources. Now you are beginning to talk to people, you are beginning to strike deals. So I think their support to the defense industry is highly strategic because they believe that that is where they can put their money and they can get Nigeria stabilized. If you are stabilizing Nigeria, you are stabilizing Africa. That is just it. So they need a peaceful atmosphere. They want to see that if Toyota should come in, the plants are safe wherever they are going to locate them. They're not going to lose their investment. So it's strategic. And then you need a healthy population for them to be able to eat, to be able to save, for them to be able to purchase even the Toyota. So health, providing support to health is equally strategic. So for me, it is give and take. They needed something from Nigeria, which is the market that we have. But I want to see in the long run, Nigeria building our own cars that are affordable so that we too can export to other African countries. But for now, this is the best we can have as halfway measure, as they usually say. Half bread is better than none.
Okay, on this note, I would like to appreciate you, Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu, for coming on Panorama.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been speaking with Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu. He's a research and public affairs analyst. Moving on, residents of Oshogbo, the Osun state capital, are counting their losses while others are appealing to the federal and state governments to save them from a more devastating flood as a result of persistent rain. Femi Aforiogun reports that houses were submerged following a heavy rain in Oshogbo for 2 days.
The prediction by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET that some states, including Osun State, might likely experience flooding is already happening. After 2 days of heavy downpour, people whose houses and workshops are about 50 meters from the major Osun River that flowed through the state capital are not spared from the destructive nature of the flood. They believe government need to take urgent steps to avert the disaster the flood will cause.
The water was not as much as this. You see that it's increasing.
In fact, the water has spoiled many things of our documents.
Osun State government is already thinking of how to manage this situation.
That those who live very close to the river, that they should for now know that they have to evacuate the place.
There's an emergency number, toll-free emergency number for incidents like this, 293, that can be called.
They also warn people against indiscriminate dumping of refuse in drainages. In Osogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Still on flood, to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has restated federal government's commitment to provide quick intervention for victims of flood disaster in Adamawa State. The Acting Director General, NEMA, Air Commodore Akube Iyamu, stated this while on a visit to areas affected by flood in Yola. Abdullahi Ayuba Dalwa reports.
Rain observed in the state has caused the loss of lives and destroyed valuable property worth millions of naira. This necessitated both the state and the federal government set a committee to visit some of the affected areas with a view to ascertain the level of damage.
This is our third time here this year from National Emergency Management Agency. He is very passionate about the happenings and follows it. So what we're going to do, thank the state government who is always giving us the support. Adamawa State Emergency Management is one of the most active and cooperative that we have around. So we'll work with them.
We are very grateful to the federal government for taking that quick decision to come and see by themselves. We appreciate what government is doing now.
Some victims appeal to both the state and federal government for quick assistance.
Really, the flood was very, very tedious, and even there are 2 loss of life and many dislocations and injuries.
Some of the affected areas visited include Wauru Jabe, Damilu, and Bachure. In Yola, Abdullahi Ayubadalwa, NTA News.
And from Katsina, Daura community in Katsina State, which was hit by massive floods last week, will receive additional assistance from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, contrary to the allegations that President Muhammadu Buhari has turned his back on the people of Daura, there is confirmation that pre-assessment relief materials were dispatched to the victims within 48 hours of the floods. 10 trailer loads of building materials, including zinc, planks, cement, blankets, mattresses, tons of grains, cereals, and other edibles have so far been delivered and signed for by stakeholders. A gesture the Emir of Daura appreciated. NEMA has equally promised that as soon as the assessment of the damage to the flood-ravaged community is reported, more food items and building materials will be dispatched to the communities. Report just reaching us says reconstruction works on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has commenced in Lagos. To this end, there is diversion of vehicles at the Kara Bridge to enable work on the bridge. The Lagos State Sector Commander, FRSC, and Controller of Federal Ministry of Works have assured motorists and travelers of adequate control of vehicle movement and security during the construction works. Details will be brought to you in our subsequent bulletin. Now to sports news. Team Nigeria returns after second place finish at the 12th African Games in Morocco. Ayodeji Makinde has details on sports update.
Team Nigeria